Plus, Dame Dollar is straight cash money in 2020, but it's enough for the Blazers to make the postseason? You'll find out next on Countdown.
Here's Lillard again from the logo. You cannot stop Damian Lillard. Long three by back. Mitchell, a thing of beauty. Lillard with another three. Wow.
Puts it up. Dancing free. A three. Good.
Welcome to NBA Countdown, presented by Mountain Dew.
And welcome inside of our New York studios alongside Paul Pierce and Jay Williams. I'm Maria Taylor, and we're happy to be with you again. First of all, we're happy to have you.
In the building.
Good to be back.
In the building.
The truth is back.
The truth is back. The truth has always been here.
Yeah.
We were just running out of time for you. Shouts out to our boy Jalen. He won't be with us here, but in spirit, we've got him coming in Daily Wagers. And we also have Adrian Wojnarowski, our senior NBA insider, that will be joining us. And I know you've been paying attention to his feed because he has been reporting every single trade deadline news drop throughout this entire season. Yeah, he's been working
Get your
hard.
money, Woj.
A game that you probably watched yesterday, Lakers taking on the Rockets. And remember what the Rockets were doing? They were going small because they made some big trades too. Last night, the Rockets did not play a single player taller than 6'7", Paul, and it worked. They got the victory, 121-111 against the Lakers behind 41 points, with Russell Westbrook leading the charge. The Rockets are now 4-0 when they go that small. Houston had success in creating mismatches too. Westbrook went up against AD, and those 34 times he came up with 15 points. 7 of 9 shooting. Watch this one. Juked him and scored. And there's still probably some concern about the Rockets' size, but keep in mind that James Harden is a really good defender in the post. Among 122 players to defend at least 40 post-ups this season, no one has allowed a lower efficiency on these plays than James Harden. So that may be hard to believe, but that's one of the bigger teams that the Rockets could face, and they walk away with the victory. So let's bring in Adrian Wojnarowski now and talk to us, Woj, because you've been on top of this trade the entire time. You knew that Clint Capella was going and Robert Covington was coming in. But why do the Rockets believe that this is a system that could lead them to a title?
Yeah, Maria, I asked Daryl Morey, Houston's general manager, that question, and he said, why do we believe we can win a championship? Because the team that just won 3 titles, the Golden State Warriors, they did so playing small ball. Obviously, very often their closing lineup was with Draymond Green as their center. And here's one interesting bit of information from this week's trade deadline. The Rockets tried to engage the Nets on DeAndre Jordan, their center, when they were working on that 4-team, 12-player trade that landed them Robert Covington and moved Clint Capella out. And they had a window, once that trade was agreed to, of about 24 hours where they could have added up to $12 million in salary. Their owner, Tillman Fertitta, had okayed that. Now, Brooklyn wasn't interested in moving Jordan, but it shows you, listen, they would certainly like to have some more size around, but when it became a decision between Covington and Capella, they decided that they were going to go all in by adding another wing and really doubling down on the kind of small ball that Mike D'Antoni absolutely wanted to sign off on. I think D'Antoni is energized by doing this. This is an innovator. He likes to experiment, and he's gone all in here in what might be his final season as coach. He's in the last year of his contract.
Yeah. Well, we'll continue to bring you into this conversation, but I'd love to talk to you guys about it because we were all able to watch this game. And really, we kind of knew that there was some success behind it. Without Clint Capella on the court, they were 10-1. So we've kind of seen them have to play in this way before. But is it something that's repeatable, Paul? Can you have success with the small ball lineup over and over again?
They can have success in the regular season, but when the game slows down in the playoffs, I believe that one of these teams with a great post presence, such as the Lakers, even though it was a one game. Think about this. The Lakers lost. They had one game to really scout this. When you get into a playoff setting, you're going to have multiple days. You're going to have scouting. You're going to understand, like, look, we can take advantage of this in the post. And they have a player that can do that. Also, Denver has a player. I believe Utah has a player. But this could get you through the regular season. One advantage they do have, and I'll tell you this. If you start playing a Rockets game when they're small, you start taking a lot of threes, their quickness, because they're going to be quick to the ball, long rebounds. And they can get out on the break and get those long rebounds. And if they can play at a great pace and knock down shot, then they have a chance. But I applaud Daryl Morey and what the Rockets are doing. because they're always trying to find a way. They're trying to innovate and say, look, this team wasn't working with Clint. We're going to be like, we're going all in. But unfortunately, I'm calling their bluff.
Yeah.
When they get deeper in the playoffs,
you don't believe it.
It'll work.
When you think about it, though, I wonder if teams psychologically are disciplined enough to consistently throw the ball down low on the block, right? When you think about Anthony Davis, he roams the perimeter a lot. Yeah. When you think about Jokic, he roams the perimeter a lot. Rudy Gobert is good down low, but you're not necessarily throwing the ball to him on the block and saying, go get me 25 and 10. What I will say is if you don't go out with a bang. Mm-hmm. Go out with a bang. Daryl Morey, let's give facts here. Daryl Morey, because of his comment, lost to Houston Rockets a lot of money. His back is against the wall. Mike D'Antoni didn't get an extension. His back is against the wall. They have the second fastest pace in the league. Right. I love watching this style of play. If you can do it better than other teams.
Another thing, let me tell you this, though. Look, it can work to their advantage in this way, too, also. Like, you're like, okay, well, they're smaller. We can, pound them on the offensive glass. But on the other end, you're like, a coach may be like, we don't go to the offensive glass. Let's get back on defense because of their speed. So it could go either way. But if you can take advantage of them on the boards, then you shouldn't have no problem.
Yeah, we saw the Lakers trying to take advantage of post-up play, but there was a little bit of a struggle in the half-court set on offense. So if you look at the other side and not just focus on the small ball that Houston was playing, you can kind of see the deficiencies. The Lakers continue to struggle with LeBron off the floor. Yeah, look at that. LA's half-court offense this season would rank 3rd when LeBron is in the game, but if you take him off, guys, it drops to 28th in the NBA. One reason for the issue is they don't have another playmaker. When he's not on the court, the Lakers, when he is on the court, they rank 1st in drive efficiency, and then you see what happens there. They're going to rank 29th. So I don't know what the answer is to this because the Lakers didn't make a move during the trade. So this is the team that they're with. They can go to the buyout market, obviously, and add someone. But what is your reaction to seeing those two numbers standing right next to each other?
It's very staggering. But what you have to realize, come playoff time, LeBron is going to be playing heavy minutes, and he's capable of carrying that type of load. So I'm not too worried about it right now. Maybe they'll get exposed, but think about the buyout market also. If that player's available, that means he probably can't really help you in that department because somebody would have picked him up. If there's a playmaker out there who can also score, maybe come off the bench and give you something, that player is not going to be out there. Maybe in the buyout market. I mean, I don't know because.
Well, you're there. Darren Collison's in a free agency.
I was going to say
he hasn't played all year.
Yeah, but you brought it up. Actually, we have Woj still here, so he can give us an update on the Lakers and maybe the moves they're continuing to think about making this season. Woj.
Yeah, guys, Darren Collison's going to meet with his agent, Bill Duffy, early next week in L.A. and very likely finalize his decision about coming back. And if he gives his agent, Bill Duffy, the green light that he is ready to come back, return to the league. Of course, he retired in really a surprising way to everybody in the league just prior to July, the start of July free agency. If he gives his agent the green light, then the next step for Bill Duffy, I'm told, is he'll set up formal meetings with the Lakers and the Clippers, and then we'll have what will be the next installment in this arms race within L.A. For talent. They had competed for Marcus Morris at the trade deadline. Obviously, they competed for Kawhi Leonard back in free agency, and the next chapter in that battle, Darren Collison.
The battle continues, as told by Woj. The question is then, Jay Will, is he the answer? Is he the help that the Lakers need?
I think he gives them another ball handler. Understanding that he shot over 40% over the last 4 seasons from the three-point line is critical for them. I don't think he's the answer, though. He's not enough to get them over the hump. I have the Clippers coming out of the West. Them getting Marcus Morris was a huge addition for them. I thought if the Lakers were able to get a guy like Andre Iguodala, then if they were to meet with the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals, that allows LeBron James to rest a little bit because he can take possessions against a Kawhi Leonard or against a PG instead of LeBron having to do what Jimmy Butler has to do, Paul. You know what I mean? Playing on both ends of the floor all the time at 34, 35 years old.
I'm not sure if they're relying on. Look at the two names you said. You said Andre Iguodala and Darren Collison. Neither one of them has played ball in over 9 months. Now, if we're reliant on a guy to come in who said, I have no desire to play this year, and then all of a sudden, it's like that guy at the park, you're like, I don't feel like playing, we need an extra guy. He's like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll play. How much can he really help you? You know what I'm saying?
You're not counting on it.
I'm not counting on it. He's just an extra body. So, I mean,
that's fine.
There's no other answers to the Lakers' problem.
This just came down to the Lakers. As much as people said, hey, go get Derrick Rose, they didn't have draft picks to put together for a deal for Derrick Rose. And, you know, Kuzma's contract was only $2 million. So even if you had some other pieces, if you're another team, you want more than just Kuzma. You want draft picks. You want something that set you up for the future. They couldn't offer that.
Well, listen, the Lakers weren't able to make the move maybe that they could have wanted before the trade deadline, but one big bomb that was dropped was by Woj, and it was right before the trade deadline. You were in the studio for this one, actually, Paul Pierce. It was D'Angelo Russell leaving Golden State, going to Minnesota in a deal that sends the former #1 overall pick, Andrew Wiggins, to the Warriors. The Warriors will also get the 2021 protected first-round draft pick and a 2021 second-round pick, and sends Jacob Evans and Amari Spellman to the T-Wolves. All right, guys. I want you to go at it because they look like they're mirror images of each other. Look at those numbers. They look so similar, but they're different players on the court.
Yeah.
Can you tell me who you would pick? Who would you want on your team?
Right now, D'Angelo Russell. I think you get more value for that money. I mean, it's obvious that the Minnesota Timberwolves core was not working out. I mean, before the last 2 seasons, they went from a playoff team that flamed out to not making the playoffs. I mean, they had the talent, and so they got to go in a different direction. Of course, you want to keep Cat, your franchise player, but you need new energy. And I believe that, you know, D'Angelo Russell will help them. And he also will help them bring in other free agents, a la maybe his other boy over there, Booker, Phoenix in a couple years.
I like
maybe
that.
in a couple years because they've talked about it. But this is a win for the Minnesota Timberwolves for the simple fact I don't know what role that Wiggins is going to play for the Warriors. He's been a 1A, 1B star for Minnesota that hasn't worked out. And so now you're asking him to be like 3rd, 4th option. He's going to have to play like a Harrison Barnes type role there. Will he be able to do it? I don't know.
Paul, he's a souped-up Harrison Barnes. He's a souped-up Harrison Barnes. And here's what I'm saying, though. I think the Warriors won this whole deal. D'Angelo Russell dominates the ball. I don't think that fits into the style of offense that the Golden State Warriors play when you get Stephen Clay back. What I do like about Harrison Barnes, everybody's always wanted him to be 1A. He is not an alpha dog. But if you put him in the right... He got paid, but that's not his fault. That's management fault. Wiggins, excuse me.
I was gonna say you said Harrison
Wiggins,
Barnes.
okay, Wiggins. He's not an alpha dog. But if you put him in the right culture, though, where now he is the 3rd, the 4th option, I think that allows him to flourish because he could be a 3-and-D type of player. Get in where you fit in, and Stephen Clay create the environment where it's conducive to him learning how to win. He's never learned how to win being on a good team.
No, listen, he's already an inefficient shooter. So now he's going to get less shots. And then you're going to ask him to do something he's never done, be a spot-up player, and then be a major defender. I mean, you don't just change your roles in the prime of your career. He's still young.
You weren't happy with the way he was playing in Minnesota.
Like, he's not a 32-year-old and like, all right, I have to turn into this. Like,
He's in the prime, but he
he's
has
in
to
his
make...
prime. He's like, his mental is like, I'm still the guy. Now you telling me to go stand in the corner. Now you telling me to go guard.
Now we're teaching you the right way to win. Now we're teaching you the right way to play efficient basketball. There's a difference. I understand he's 24 years old, though, Paul.
Hold on, guys. We've still got the guy, too. Woj, there's something you want to add on this T-Wolves trade?
I don't know.
When Warriors GM Bob Myers was contemplating this trade, he talked to Tom Thibodeau, Wiggins' former coach of Minnesota, and he made the point to Bob Myers that, you know, when Jimmy Butler came in, Andrew Wiggins went from a 24 a point-a-game score to under 20 and welcomed a lesser role. Sacrifice, was willing to give up some things offensively to play on a better team. And I think Bob Myers and Steve Kerr, what they're banking on was, listen, when you're the #1 pick and you're drafted into an organization that way, you're expected to be the savior. Well, he wasn't. He can't carry a franchise. He's already sacrificed and taken a step back once in his career in Minnesota, and he'll be asked to do that again. But I think they believe that he will welcome that because, listen, there's a way for him to fit in Golden State and maybe be more the kind of complementary player that he probably should have been intended to be from the very beginning.
Thank you, Woj.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will have the preseason #3 in the West next year.
Okay. But way too soon, early projections.
What do you mean, with
Jay
Stephen
Will.
Clay coming back and Draymond?
Appreciate the time, Woj, though.
Oh,
Thanks
man,
for
good
checking
luck.
in
Thanks,
with
guys.
us. Yeah,
Okay.
he's been busy with the trade deadline, but, I mean, you heard what Woj said. They believe that he